What's up, Chuckles? Here we are in video 1 of 9.1, and we are looking at, we're going to be looking at correlation and regression lines, all of that, but we're going to start off with a little piece on correlation. It gives you the definition of correlation right here. It's a relationship between two variables. The data can be represented by the ordered pairs x and y, which should be familiar to you if you took algebra, which all of you did. X would be our independent variable. It's what we're going to be plugging in for most of the time. And then Y in this case would be the dependent variable. And it depends on what X is. Okay. So we kind of looked at in section 2.2, it says here, we looked at these scatter plots. And down here, we just want to follow this and take a look at this piece, this exercise of, let's look at these scatter plots, and we have some different types of correlation happening here. You're going to look at this one right here. Obviously, as the x increases on this axis right here, the y is decreasing. That means the y starts high, and as we move from left to right, the x value decreases. So we would say that this one has a negative linear correlation. And the correlation here it would be decently strong, because if I draw this line of best fit, the data really resembles a line. So we would say that's probably a pretty strong correlation there. On the other hand, what happens if we look at our positive, something right here would be a positive linear correlation, okay? And that just means as x increases, y tends to increase as well. You would know these things from algebra. You know, if you have a positive linear correlation like this, you know that the slope of the line is going to be positive. Over here on this one that I'm circling, we would expect that slope to be a negative number. We're going to kind of take a look at that a little bit. Down here, we have some other options that it could be. You're putting in data, and we don't know until we look at that data, but something like this would have no correlation. There's no trend that's happening here that we can look at. It looks like everything is all over the place, so we would consider this to be no correlation. And then this guy right here, it says a nonlinear correlation. You could probably see what kind of correlation this is right here. What is that? That is would represent a quadratic, right? That sort of shape would represent a quadratic equation. That's not something that we are going to get into for us, especially with us kind of cutting things short. But if you take a stats class in college, or you take past the first year of stats in college, that would be something that you would look at. You'd look at relationship between nonlinear correlations, parabolas and such. You would look at quadratic, you'd look at cubic, quartic, all of that sort of thing would happen in higher level stats classes. So this is just kind of this page right here is just kind of an overview for us, and we'll get into more detail on the next video. Bye-bye.